Hey guys, welcome to this 40-minute strength and yoga class. We're going to start by coming to a child's pose down on the mat. So just bringing the big toes together, the knees out wide, allowing the arms to come forward, having a softness into the elbows. Starting to bring the forehead down to the mat and breathing deeply into the belly. As you do so, starting to allow the pelvis to become a little heavier, sitting back towards the heels, releasing and letting go here. Taking this time for you to breathe a little bit more deeply, inhaling in and exhaling fully out. Feeling the hips start to soften more, feeling the pelvis softening further towards the heels. Feeling length through the spine, belly is soft and relaxed. Palms are releasing down into the earth, softness into the fingers. And then as you inhale, starting to gaze up towards the hands, walking the hands over towards the right side of the mat. And then we're lowering back down again. You can have one hand stacked on top of the other, so the left hand stacked on top of the right, or you might have the hands just side by side here. Starting to really allow the heart to melt down towards the mat, letting everything release. Breathing deeply in and fully out. Then on your next inhale, looking up towards the hands, walking over to the other side and maybe stacking one hand on top of the other if you did on the other side, or you can have the hands side by side, melting the heart back down towards the mat. Really allowing a beautiful openness through the side waist, through the shoulders, through the heart center. Breathing deeply in here and fully out. Inhale, coming back through center, and we're taking a moment here to lower the forehead back onto the mat. And deep breath in, full breath out. Maybe you might bring the arms down by the sides. You can either have the knees out wide still, or you can have the knees coming together as you do this. And then we're going to come all the way to lengthen the arms forward if they're not already there. And then starting to draw up from the belly button, walking the hands in and coming to sit back onto the heels. Bringing the hands down behind you, fingertips facing forward. We are arching back, so starting to press into the palms, lifting the hips up and letting the head and neck come back, finding an open heart here. And then exhale as you sit back towards the heels and lengthening the arms forward to your child's pose. Inhale and exhale, full breaths into the belly. And then inhale as you draw the navel to spine, rounding the back, coming up. We're coming to our tabletop position, finding a flat back here. Knees are in line with the hips, shoulders in line with the wrists. We're stepping the right foot back, so tucking the toes here, and then we're lifting the leg up, bringing the knee to the elbow, pressing back, lengthening out, and then drawing back in, navel to spine, pressing the leg back. Inhale, exhale, bringing the knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, releasing the knee back down, and we're going to do the other side here. Starting to reach the left toes out, so tucking the toes and then lifting the leg up. Inhale as you bring the leg forward and pressing back out, lengthening out, engaging into the core. So inhale, lengthen the leg out, and exhale, rounding the spine, bringing the belly button to the spine, really finding that core engagement, and release, coming down. Awesome job. First downward facing dog of the class is starting to tuck the toes, lift the hips up high towards the ceiling, making sure the feet are about hip width apart, maybe finding a little bend of one knee and then the other, alternating, walking the dog. You can have the length here into the spine. Now we're lifting the left leg up into a three-legged dog. You're bringing the knee all the way through towards the elbow here, and then pressing back, three-legged dog. Awesome. And then coming forward with that knee, really engaging into that core, lengthening up. Inhale as you lift the leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bringing the leg all the way through this time. We're crossing it across and you're starting to press into that supporting hand, into that right palm, reaching the left arm all the way up to the ceiling, lifting the hips up nice and high, finding a gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, bringing that left hand all the way back down and unwinding. We're coming to a side plank. So starting to come over towards the left side. So you've got your right foot stacked on top of your left, and you're lengthening the right arm up towards the ceiling, pressing into that supporting hand and coming back through center. Coming to a full plank in the center, and then we're starting to step the right foot forward, coming to a high lunge, dropping the back knee down, opening out to the left side, warrior two, and then peaceful warrior, looking up towards the hand as you arch back. Then windmill the hands, framing the front foot, stepping back into your plank, coming all the way down, elbows come in nice and close to the body, chaturanga to upward facing dog, then rolling over the tops of the feet, lifting the hips up high, downward facing dog. Breathing deeply here, inhale, three-legged dog on the left side, bringing the knee in towards the elbow, engaging into the core, lengthening through the neck. Inhale, three-legged dog, pressing back. Exhale, bringing the knee in towards the elbow. Inhale, lengthen back up. Three-legged dog, staying strong here. Weight is even through both sides of the hands. And then bringing the leg all the way through this time and allowing the right arm to come up as you press the hips up, lifting up nice and high from the core. Core is engaged, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the hand all the way back down and coming to that side plank. So we are coming over onto the right side. You're lifting the left arm up. You've got the left foot stacked on top of the right. And then we're coming back through center and stepping the left foot forward. Starting to find your balance here. Inhale as you reach the arms up towards the ceiling and coming to your warrior two, opening out to the side. Awesome. Gazing forward of the hand and then peaceful warrior, looking up towards the ceiling, pressing the hips forward, and then cartwheel the arms all the way down, framing the front foot, stepping back, plank. Nice strong core here, lowering down, chaturanga and upward facing dog. And rolling over the shins. Inhale, coming to your down dog. Exhale, sinking the hips down. Inhale, reaching the right leg up this time. Three-legged dog. Starting to bring the knee in towards the elbow. Inhale, lengthen up, pressing up. And exhale as you start to shift forward, knee to elbow, engaging the core. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time we're opening the hip out, so the foot comes up and over, keeping the hips square. We're opening that right hip up. Inhale, back through center into your three-legged dog, and starting to bring the knee all the way through, placing the foot down, lifting the hips, starting to reach the left arm up towards the ceiling, looking up, finding that openness across the front side of the shoulders, lifting and starting to cartwheel that arm all the way back down, unwind and stepping back. We're coming to the side plank here on the left side. So we're starting to press into that left hand as you start to stack the feet, then coming back through center, stepping the right foot forward. Awesome job. Reaching the right arm up, starting to place that left palm on the inside of the foot, and then we are coming back through center and reaching the arms up. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two, opening out to the side. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, we have a side angle pose, placing the forearm down on the inside of the thigh, lengthening the left arm up and over, gazing under the arm. Inhale, peaceful warrior, arching back, keeping that front knee bent. Then straightening the legs, so both legs are straight, starting to press the hips back and lengthening the arms forward, starting to place the right fingertips down towards the mat, looking up towards the left arm, keeping the hips back towards the back of the mat, and then coming all the way forward, bending that front knee, peaceful warrior, gazing up towards the hand and cartwheel the arms, coming all the way back through center, shifting back to plank, lowering down, chaturanga, elbows come straight back, opening the heart as you roll over the toes, and coming upward dog, and then downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, doing so well, bringing that knee forward, shifting forward, knee to elbow. Inhale as you lengthen back up, three-legged dog, pressing up. Exhale, starting to bring the knee forward, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthening up, finding length through the spine, three-legged dog, opening the hip out so the foot comes over towards the right side of the mat as you open out through that left side of the hip. Keeping nice and square through the hands, the shoulders. Inhale, lengthening back through center, three-legged dog, keeping the core engaged, stepping that left leg all the way through, and we're starting to press the hips up. Right arm comes up, nice long line from fingertips all the way down to the mat here as you find that lift through the hips. Lifting up through the side waist and cartwheel the hand back down, shifting over. We're coming to that side plank position. Starting to reach the arm up, stacking the feet and back through center. Center plank here, pressing the heels back towards the end of the mat. Inhale as you bring the left foot forward. Exhale, opening out to that left side as you reach the left arm up. Then coming back through center, bending the front knee. Inhale, high lunge, reaching the arms up nice and high. And breathing here. Breath in, breath out. Then we're opening out, warrior two to the right. And peaceful warrior. Starting to sweep the arm up and over. Gazing up towards the hand. And then back to side angle. So we are placing the left forearm in front of the left knee, reaching the right arm up, and then back to peaceful warrior. Now starting to straighten the front leg, we're starting to release the hips back and start to lift the right arm up towards the ceiling, and the left hand or fingertips come down to the mat, keeping those hips nice and square, then bending the front knee, coming back to our peaceful warrior, gazing up towards the hand, and then side angle, cartwheel the arms over, reaching the right arm up and over, and then coming back through to our warrior two. Then starting to come all the way back through center and framing the front foot, stepping the foot back, we're coming to a plank and starting to lower down, elbows in close, chaturanga to upward facing dog, and then lifting the hips and sinking the heels down, downward facing dog. Awesome. Making your way to the front of the mat. It might be baby steps, a walk, or a jump. And then we are coming to our more strength part here. So we're starting to do a little curtsy here. So we're bringing one foot back as we bend through the front knee. We are stepping back, keeping the hips nice and square. We're just alternating from side to side here, keeping core into the core, keeping engagement into the core. We want to have the knees pointing forward or slightly out to the side, so not rolling those knees inward. The feet are in a parallel position when you come forward. Awesome. Now coming all the way down, we're coming down onto the mat here. We're going to do a little half push up here. So just coming down onto the knees, shoulders are in line with the wrists. You've got a nice long length into the spine. Elbows come straight back. Core is engaged, pressing down, pressing up. So little press ups here, keeping everything in a nice long line, breathing deeply. You're doing so well, you guys. This is a really full on workout, but it is going to be so worth it. You're going to feel amazing afterwards. Keep it going, pressing down, pressing up, lengthen to the spine. Breathing deeply, keeping that core engagement. Awesome. And then coming to your down dog. So lifting the hips, dropping the heels down and starting to tap the shoulder. So we're tapping the opposite shoulder, coming back through center and switching sides. Trying to keep the hips and the rest of the body really still and stable here. As you do this, you're keeping the core engaged, the hips are lifted. Keep it going, breathing deeply. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep it going, breathing, making sure you're not holding your breath here. This is challenging. You can do this. You are strong. Remember that. Keep it going. And release. Awesome. Coming all the way down. Let's come down onto the mat. You're coming down onto your back. We want to have the soles of the feet onto the mat. Knees are bent. we are starting to lift the head and the shoulders up off the mat, and we're just starting to tap the outside of the feet. So you are just twisting a little bit from side to side, keeping the core engaged, breathing deeply. Inhale, exhale, looking at your belly as you do this, making sure you're not bringing tension into the neck, a little bit of space between the chin and the chest, keeping that core engagement. Don't let it go, keep it going. Shifting from side to side, working through those obliques. Awesome. And release. Well done. Great job. Lengthening the legs up towards the ceiling. Head is lowered down. Awesome. Taking a moment here. Any little movement here, and then we're starting to cross the legs. We're scissoring the legs, crossing the ankles in front of each other, keeping that head down, pressing the palms down into the mat, keeping the core engaged. The lower the legs are, the more challenging. So if it's a bit too much for you, you can bring the legs up higher. Keep it going, making sure you've got that core engagement. You're not bringing tension into the low back, so you're keeping everything nice and strong. And awesome. Coming up, we're coming to a bridge. So starting to really pulse here in your bridge. Just lifting the hips, lowering them down, squeezing, keeping the hips nice and square. Breathing in, breathing out, staying strong. Awesome. Keep it going. Squeezing those glutes as you come up, lowering about halfway down. You can use your hands to press up a little bit higher each time. Finding your breath, gazes straight up at the ceiling. Awesome. Releasing it down. Pelvis comes down, and you are doing so well. You should be so proud of yourself. We are halfway through now. Doing good. All right. Coming to your downward facing dog, guys. Allowing the pelvis to release. We're lifting the right leg up, three-legged dog, bringing the foot all the way through and placing it to the outside of the right hand. You're then stepping the left leg forward as well. Inhale, halfway lift, finding a flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, starting to sit back into your chair, lengthening the arms forward, gazing forward, sitting down as low as you can without those knees coming forward of the toes. And exhale, releasing down, forward fold. Ragdoll the head and neck. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, chaturanga, upward facing dog, rolling over the shins as you come, the tops of the feet as you roll up and come to your down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, bringing the left foot all the way forward and finding that length through the spine here. And then you're stepping the right foot forward as well. You've got a fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, chair, sitting down into your chair. Shoulders are away from the ears, staying strong, really sitting deep here. And exhale as you fold down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, coming back, chaturanga to an upward facing dog, rolling over the top of those feet. Inhale, lifting the hips high. Exhale, dropping the heels as you come to your down dog. Inhale, right foot lifts in your three-legged dog. Exhale, bringing the right foot forward. Bringing the left foot forward, and you're coming to your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down, forward fold. Awesome job. Inhale, you're crossing the left foot behind the right ankle. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Breathing deeply, letting the hips lift up nice and high here. Softness into the knee joints. Letting the shoulders, the head, the neck relax down. Uncross and folding down. Awesome. Breathing in, breathing out. Great job. Just letting everything soften down here. You might grab hold of the big toes, create a little flat back here, and then fold down towards the legs again. So finding a little bit more length here through the spine. As you use your two-piece fingers to kind of pull the toes, pull the body in towards the torso and towards the top of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, and then as you step back, you stepping that left foot back. So we're coming into a low lunge here. Starting to lift the right toes up towards the face as you press the hips back towards the back of the mat, allowing the head and neck to fall down towards that right leg. And keeping the hips nice and square. You're hinging forward, coming back to your plank, stepping back and then lowering the body down, elbows in close and rolling over the top of the feet, coming to your downward facing dog, allowing everything to soften down here. Then on your next inhale, stepping your left foot forward and then your right, folding down here and releasing the hips up high. Crossing the right foot behind the left ankle. Inhale, halfway lift with a nice flat back here, finding that length. Exhale as you fold down toward the legs. Hips are high, belly is softening towards the top of the legs, breathing deeply in and fully out. Then uncross the legs, letting everything relax down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release, forward fold. Awesome. Bringing the feet out a little bit wider, maybe about hip width apart. We are taking hold of the big toes, using your 2-piece fingers, and inhale, finding a flat back. Exhale, folding down. So using your arm strength to pull the torso down towards the legs. Beautiful work. Stepping your right foot back, framing your front foot, knee is bent, that left knee is bent, dropping the right knee down, untuck the toes. We're lifting the left toes up and starting to shift the hips back towards the back of the mat, softly releasing the head down toward the leg. Breathing here, deep breath in, full breath out. Then inhale, shifting forward, and then exhale. Inhale, stepping back to a plank. And then starting to lower down, chaturanga, to an upward facing dog and then a downward facing dog, releasing the heels down. When you're ready, making your way to the front of the mat, and we are folding forward at the front of the mat. Great job. Then coming all the way down onto your mat, coming down onto your back, we're just being on our forearms here, and we are extending the left leg long, starting to just sort of pulse that leg up and down. And the other leg is in a tabletop position. So switching sides, we've got the left knee bent, the right leg extended, and switch. Keep this going. So just pumping that left leg now as the right knee is bent, switching sides. Right leg goes long, left knee is in that tabletop position, keeping the core engaged, looking at your belly, breathing deeply. Awesome. Pressing the forearms into the mat so you're bringing the shoulders away from the ears, using your core to drive this movement. So good, you guys. Staying focused, breathing deeply, lengthening the leg out really long, finding length through the leg, and bringing both legs to tabletop. Awesome job. Coming all the way down onto your back and taking a moment here to find tabletop with the legs. Then we're lifting the head and shoulders up. You're lengthening the arms to either side of the legs. You're starting to pump the arms. So we're doing the hundreds here, just pumping the arms up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, really looking at your belly as you do this, keeping that core engagement, pumping the arms, feeling that pump through all of the muscles of the arms as well. Keep it going, pumping, pumping, pumping. If you need to, you can bring your head and shoulders down at any time. Great job, you guys. All right, let's move out of this. We're going to do some tricep dips. So starting to sit up here, you want to hinge back slightly, core is engaged, feet are flat on the mat, elbows go straight back, fingertips facing forward, just a little drop down here with the elbows, and you're pressing back up, using your arm strength to press you back up, keeping your core engaged the whole time. There's some space between your chin and your chest as you do this, lengthening through the back of the neck. So awesome, you guys. This is such a full-on strength training workout. You are going to get so many amazing results from it. So well done. All right, coming all the way down, we're coming to our bridge here. So starting to lift the hips up high, just lifting up, little squeezes up and down. Just a very small movement here. So try not to kind of let that engagement go as you do this movement. So it's very little sort of pulses up and down, squeezing into the glutes, pressing into the feet evenly through both sides, and releasing down. Great. Come to your left side. We're going to come onto the left forearm. And we want to have a bend into the bottom leg, so that left knee is bent and you're lengthening the right leg out to the side. Starting to circle the hip in the forward. So we're just doing circles forward to begin with. All of the movement is coming from the hip, not so much from the foot. So just let the foot come along for the ride. Awesome. And reversing that, going backwards now. These can be just little circles, imagining you're really letting your glutes or your glute and your hip really create this movement. Good job. And then just placing that foot down when you're ready, and we're switching over to the other side. So coming down onto that forearm and bending the bottom leg as you lengthen the top leg. A little bit of a flex in both feet to protect the knees. Lengthen the leg up. We're starting to circle the foot forward, or the leg forward. All of this movement is coming from the hip, so making sure that you are just imagining you're really using that hip and the glute to drive the movement, softness into the knee, engaging into the core, and circle it back the other way. You can use that left hand to be on the mat to support you here. Try not to rock around in any other part of the body, so keeping nice and still and stable, circling back, breathing in, breathing out. Awesome. And release, coming down. Good job. All right, coming to tabletop position. Then you're stepping your right foot forward and you're bringing your hands down onto the mat. Finding a nice length here through the spine. You want to have both hands inside the foot there. So the foot is out a little bit wider, your right foot, to find a little deeper stretch. You might come down onto the forearms if this feels good, just making sure the hips are nice and square. Maybe letting the head and neck go, just finding your breath, breathing deeply in, breathing fully out. Letting go. If this feels too much, you can always come up onto your fingertips or onto your hands. So bringing it up a little bit. Sending your breath to any part that is feeling tight. It's probably in this position, the hip flexor. So starting to soften that out with each breath. Wherever you are, starting to make your way back up. And we're starting to come back to that tabletop position. Then lifting the hips up, downward facing dog. Taking a break here, breathing deeply in, fully out. And then stepping your left foot forward, dropping the right knee down and starting to find that same position on this side. So just making sure that the hands are both inside that left foot, so you can step the left foot out a little bit wider. Hips are nice and square, lengthening through the back of the neck, through the whole spine. If it feels good, you can come down onto the forearms and allow the head and neck to release. Taking some time to really breathe here. Thanking yourself for coming to the class, doing the class today. And just starting to take those breaths into the belly, really filling that belly. And as you exhale, sending that exhale to any areas that need a little ironing out. Remember, you can come up at any time if it feels too intense. You can come up onto the fingertips or onto the palms. Awesome. If you're not already up on the palms, you can take your time now to slowly come out of this, just taking your time. It's quite an intense stretch, so not rushing. We want to let everything kind of jig itself, for want of better words. And then coming all the way up, just stepping the left foot back, downward facing dog. Hips reach high, belly comes toward the top of the legs, cleansing breaths here in through the nose, maybe sighing those out the mouth just to let it all go. And then inhale, reaching the right leg up, three-legged dog, shifting forward, so bringing the leg all the way through, and we're crossing the shin across the mat. And if this feels a little bit too much, feel free to bring the foot back towards the left hip here. So the further back the foot comes, the less intense the stretch, or you can have the shin parallel with the front of the mat if you want something a little bit more intense. You might even lower yourself all the way down by releasing the belly onto the right leg. Let the forehead come down, melting down, breathing deeply in and fully out. Staying here for as long as you like. Just continue to breathe into that belly, expanding the belly, and as you exhale, releasing and letting go. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to start to walk the hands over towards the right side and then lowering back down, taking a few breaths here. Allowing the heart to melt, feeling that nice openness through the left side waist, and then taking your time to come up and lowering back down to the other side. And shoulders relaxed, bellies relaxed. And inhale back through center. Exhale, starting to walk the hands all the way back in towards the body. Finding length here through the neck, through the back of the skull, and then we're starting to come back to our downward facing dog. So stepping back, down dog, any movement here that feels good. Maybe just bending and straightening through the legs, maybe pressing the belly towards the top of the legs, finding a little bit more length into the spine. And then sweeping the left leg up, three-legged dog. And bringing the knee all the way forward and placing the leg so that the shin is across the mat. The right leg comes back and you can stay up high here, or you could start to make your way down onto the forearms, or even coming all the way down. Just making sure there's no pain in the knee. So if you're noticing that it feels like there's any kind of stretching too much in the knee, then it's really important to make sure that you don't come into too much of the stretch. So really sort of pulling back from it. Maybe you shifting the left foot a little bit closer towards the pelvis, or coming up higher. Just melting everything down. We're stepping the hands over towards the left side, maybe stacking the right hand on top of the left, just melting back down, finding that beautiful openness through the right side waist and the right hip. And then inhale, looking up towards the hands again, walking the hands over to the right side, maybe stacking the left hand on top of the right and lowering back down. Breathing into the side waist here, into that left hip. Deep breath in, full breath out. Releasing, jaw is soft, eyes are relaxed. And inhale, coming back through center, walking the hands in towards the leg and lengthening up through the spine. Awesome, coming all the way to a seated position on your mat. Then we're coming all the way down onto our backs, having the knees bent, the soles of the feet connected to the mat, arms come down by your sides, and then you're going to cross the left ankle in front of the right ankle in front of the left knee, and then you're going to hug that left knee in. So wrapping the hands behind the left knee, and you're just squeezing and using your hands to squeeze that left knee in towards the chest, lengthening the tailbone down, having softness into the pelvis, letting everything soften here, breathing in as you squeeze in, using your hands, exhale as you melt any tension out. Great job. Switching over to the other side, so you are crossing the left ankle in front of the right knee. And then bringing the hands through, threading the hands through the legs and wrapping the hands around the back of the right knee. Squeezing and using your hands here. Inhale into the belly. Exhale as you slowly release out. Finding those nice deep breaths here. Finding length into the spine. Any movement that feels good. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Really tuning into your body today. And then maybe just hugging both knees in towards the chest and any movement here that feels good. Finally, lengthening the legs up towards the ceiling, keeping length into the spine. The pelvis is heavy, tailbone is down. And just allowing the legs to kind of float in a waterfall. You can, if you have a prop for this, maybe you have a little bolster or you might have a block to place under the hips to lift you up a little bit higher. Then just doing whatever you want to with the feet. So maybe just moving the feet, ankles a little bit here. Finally hugging the knees in towards the chest again and just finding that beautiful big hug that you well deserve. So good, you guys. Maybe rocking the head from side to side, finding any movement. If there's any other shape you feel to do today, feel free to explore that and kind of stay as long as you like here. I'm going to come all the way over to my belly for Shavasana today, but you can be on your back, you can be on your side, you can be seated. Going to find a resting shape on my belly, just letting my head come to one side and starting to allow everything to soften down. So wherever you are, just taking your time to rest and allow all of that goodness to soak through into every cell, every muscle. This has been beautiful to practice with you today. I would love to see you again at one of the other sessions. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for free workouts, free yoga, Pilates, and strength training that you can do anywhere. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Staying in your Shavasana for as long as you like. If you are on your belly and you have your head to one side, you might bring the head up and allow the head to come over to the other side. And just take some time here, finding a few breaths and allowing the breath to come back to its natural state. If you are ready to come out of your Shavasana, you might just come all the way up to a side lying position and then to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.